Coming up on Bulldog Broadcast, Carly and Kendall take a look at recent events to remind you of your ability to say no. Then, with the seniors being gone, our remaining staff members are ready to prove their ability to keep this show thriving. And later, from district to state, Bulldog Sports has the final standings as the spring season comes to an end. We have an exhilarating show for you today, so let's get started. Good afternoon, Bulldogs, and welcome to this week's edition of Bulldog Broadcast. I'm Maggie Taylor, and today is Friday, May 16th. The theme for our very last show of the school year is ability.
Ability. Power or capacity to do or act physically, mentally, legally, morally, and financially.
Just a reminder, dogs, finals have begun. Monday is an even day with testing in the morning and reviews in the afternoon. Tuesday is testing 6th and 8th in the morning and review in 1st and 3rd in the afternoon. Wednesday is then testing in 1st and 3rd and review 5th and 7th. Thursday will then be 5th and 7th testing and an early dismissal at noon. Friday the 23rd is the only makeup day. Doing well on finals enables you to do the things you truly love. Following her passion is exactly what a rising star who once walked our hallways is doing. Graduating senior Tawanda Susbridge Joaquin recently released her new digital album, Halogen, on May 3rd, 2014. Tawanda tells us what it meant to her to release this album.
I wrote this album because I want to sympathize with other people, because I know that a lot of people this year have been really stressed and just really down, and I've got a lot of comments on my album saying, you know, when I'm down, I listen to this song from your album.
This album includes 7 tracks and is available for $7 at tawanda.bandcamp.com/releases. We now turn from the sweet sounds of Tawanda to a more somber note. Carly and Kendall take a look at your ability to say no to inappropriate relationships.
From coast to coast, accusations of inappropriate relationships have stolen the headlines. From Orange County to El Paso, Texas, even here in Las Cruces. Former Centennial teacher Philip Hernandez was recently arrested and charged with 3 counts of criminal sexual contact with a minor. According to Sun News, Hernandez allegedly kissed and fondled the boy on multiple occasions on and off campus. Sexual Assault Recovery Center La Piñon counselor Donna Richmond simplifies the situation.
If an adult who has power and authority over the youth is having a sexual relationship with them, then that is inappropriate.
Hernandez is one among 3 ex-Las Cruces public school system employees arrested in the past year on similar charges. These cases don't even contribute to the 30% increase in child sex abuse reports in Doña Ana County since January. According to La Piñon, inappropriate relationships can begin harmlessly with things like offering rides or giving presents. They can escalate to touching or fondling and eventually lead to further abuse or sexual relationships. This is always inappropriate and illegal, regardless of whether or not the minor is okay with it.
Just because you would say something inappropriate doesn't mean that that teacher or coach or whatever adult it is would be able to take advantage of you because you initiated it. And the adults are the ones that are supposed to take the initiative to redirect and to not go where they know that they shouldn't go.
However, inappropriate relationships go beyond that of adults and minors. According to the organization Love is Respect, 1 in 3 teens in the U.S. is a victim of physical, sexual, emotional, or verbal abuse from a dating partner. People have no obligation to stay in a situation that makes them uncomfortable.
You have a right to leave where you are if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel like you're being treated with dignity and respect. You have a right to leave. You have a right to walk away. And you have a right to say, don't talk to me that way.
Stay tuned for part 2 of this story, where we take this sensitive subject to the street.
Thanks, Carly and Kendall. We now have to take a short break, but stay tuned for part 2 of the story, where we will hear your opinions on the subject.
Freak.
You loser.
Worthless.
Faces Worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere.
You're never gonna be anyone. You're never gonna go anywhere in life. You're always gonna be stuck in the past.
You're wrong. I can grow.
We now send it back to Carly and Kendall for part 2 of the story, where we take a look at the community's opinions on this heated subject.
Earlier in the show, we reported on recent events involving adults and minors, clarifying exactly what an inappropriate or an abusive relationship is.
Now we'll bring this topic to the streets of Las Cruces to test the community's knowledge. How would you feel if I told you that 25% of high school girls have been sexually, physically, or emotionally abused by a dating partner?
I would be amazed if that was true.
It is true.
Oh, okay.
I would believe it.
Yeah, I would too. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, in this society these days, I wouldn't.
We need to do something about that. I think that number one, girls need to let people know if they're having problems or if it's happened at school, because I think that's probably a low number. I mean, it's a terrible number as it is, but I think it's low because a lot of people don't report assaults.
What would you define consent as?
Consent is when two adults say yeah, but if you're not an adult, I don't think you're allowed to say consent.
It's if body language, it can be, consent is like a tricky thing because it's a lot more complicated than just saying yes or just saying no. If someone tells you to stop, if someone says don't do that, I mean, they're obviously not consenting, so.
I think it's just like finding a compromise and like what you're wanting to do, maybe, I don't know.
When is a relationship inappropriate?
Just in all generalities, whether it be something that they don't want to do.
I think just if somebody's taking advantage of someone else, like you can see relationships where it's, I don't know, someone not mentally competent with someone who is, and they're just using them for something, and I don't think that's appropriate.
I think it's inappropriate once you start texting like a teacher or hanging out with them outside of school in like social settings.
Is a relationship with an authority figure okay?
I don't know, actually. I guess it just depends on what. I mean, obviously there's laws and stuff for that, but I guess it just depends how the two people connect.
The main issue would be conflict of interest. Like, that's unprofessional, but I mean...
I think it'd be kind of weird, but it's up to them. Like I said, it's up to them who they want.
Your work and your personal life, you don't have to mix them because then you're gonna have problems in work or in house, in home.
It'd be kind of weird.
That's weird. Like, I don't think that's really good at all, like in any case.
There is help available for those who are confused about their relationship or need help to get out of a bad situation. Centers like La Piñon offer a 24-hour crisis line, hospital victim advocacy, referrals, advocacy through the criminal justice process, and reparation for New Mexico crime victims. For Bulldog Broadcast, I'm Kendall Anderson.
And I'm Carly Henry.
Thank you again, Carly and Kendall, for expanding our knowledge on the awareness of inappropriate relationships. Moving forward, graduation is right around the corner, so prepare to watch our seniors walk the stage. Graduation rehearsals are on Wednesday, May 21st at 9 a.m., and the 2014 graduation ceremony is on Thursday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. Both are located at the Pan American Center on 1810 East University Avenue. With the seniors graduating, Bulldog Broadcast moves up new staff members, and we become the leaders. We now have the ability to show the school how we can further improve the show and work even harder than before.
Now that the seniors are gone, we gotta step it up, guys.
Yeah,
let's go.
New year, new staff, new goals.
Yeah. Let's do this, guys. BBC on 3.
1, 2, 3, BBC!
We need to work harder, make deadline, try new things, help each other. Come on, guys!
As we strive to finish the year strong and anticipate what lies ahead, sports follows the same route as they enter their final stretch. We send it over to Brittany and Sophia to take a look at how our athletes are closing things up this season.
Hey guys, I'm Britt.
And I'm So.
And you guys are watching LCHS track had a successful district meet last Friday. Boys finished third and girls finished fourth overall. 10 athletes qualified for the state meet. Andrew Thatcher, AJ Martinez, Dee Oles, Scott Apodaca, Isaiah McIntyre, Alex Contreras, Angel Parra, Melody Reeves, Tatiana Hall, and Irene Fernald.
Bulldog Golf drove in another win this past weekend at state. LCHS junior Davis Chung reigns king of the golf course, becoming a back-to-back state champion. The Lady Dog golf team placing second.
Bulldog softball headed up to Albuquerque last weekend to play in their first round at state. They brought in the win against Cibola, but lost to Rio Rancho in their second round at state. Great season, ladies.
Baseball came up short, losing to El Dorado in their first round of state. This finished off their season with a record of 13 wins and 14 losses. Good job, Bulldogs. Well, that's all we have for this week, dogs. This has been So.
And Britt, have a great summer.
Thanks, sports. It's now time for us to have some of our own fun on the field. A weekly summer event is occurring that is sure to reel you in. If you're looking for something to do this summer, head over to Young's Park any Saturday night for Movies in the Park. Movies will hit the screen at 7:30 and are free to the public. Some of the flicks you can catch are Frozen, Man of Steel, and Planes. Movies in the Park will run until August 3rd. That's all we have for this last edition of the school year. It's truly been a pleasure. We hope everyone does great on their finals and has an amazing summer. Signing off, I'm Maggie Taylor.